Hapade Tiro, and welcome to Marianas Stories, where we feature ordinary people with extraordinary stories in our community. And our guest today is a young fisherman who recently voyaged over 1,000 miles and back to the remote Caroline Island of Satawal, none other than Kalama Fernandez.
How's it, everybody?
Buenas.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome back. Nice to see you again.
You too. It's been a while since we got back. No, he didn't hear from anybody.
I know. Kalama and I were actually on the vessel Lucky Harvest that went to Satawal, and you were the youngest person on the boat, right?
Pohono.
Oh, Pohonu. We forgot our fellow pirate Pohonu, second
The
to
youngest.
the youngest. Well, first of all, let's start off with something I know that's really near and dear to your heart. I asked you on the boat, how would you describe yourself? And you said, a fisherman. What is it about being a fisherman or fishing that you love so much?
To me, it's not really what you catch, but it's just to enjoy and see life in a different picture out there in the open waters. It's different. It's not like being on land. You see all these trees and buildings. Out there, you just wait for something to bite. Usually that's food for us. So I grew up on fishing. I think I knew how to fish before I could read.
Yeah, really?
Yeah. Could cast, could fish inside the harbors, outside. So the water was really my passion to be inside.
I was going to ask you, how long have you been a fisherman? But it sounds like pretty much all your life.
All my life. It's like a survival skill.
Yeah. You know, one of the other things I noticed about you on the trip, you laugh a lot. You were like the light on the trip. Always, night and day, you were laughing. Where do you get that from?
It's just to be happy. It's a different feeling than holding regrets and worries in your life. Mm-hmm. It's just, what for waste your time? Mm-hmm. Might as well just enjoy life as you have. It is what it is. Smile through it.
Mm. So how did you find out you were going to be taking this trip to the island of Satawal?
I first found out Captain Cecilio. He asked me, he was actually planning this whole trip. It was delayed with some paper issues and whatnot. So we was still running our courses down to Rota and Guam for cargo. And then it finally came. He said that we're going next week. The day's coming up. We got what we could. We never expect what I got to see, the lifestyles, and that was just mostly how it started. And Captain Cecilio was the one that asked if I wanted to go, and I said yes. It was different.
What did you think it was going to be like on the trip and at the island before we went?
I really thought there was going to be a store. At least a store, something. I never heard of these islands, but
you were going to buy a souvenir and bring it back for your family.
Yes, but instead of buying, we found souvenirs to bring back.
Yeah. Whatever you could find.
Yeah, but I was surprised. Went down, no hospital, no lights, no traffic, no cars, only a boat and a portable lantern for every man's hut and house. It was different. That's where the life-changing, you realize not everybody have what we have, mm-hmm. what they can have. And the only transportation there is through boat. Boat is the only way you can get to those islands. There's no planes that land, no airstrips, no stores, no hospitals. So I give prop to all these guys that live out in these islands, mm-hmm. to survive.
Now, I heard that there was a store, but you had to make an appointment to go there. And then when one of our team went, there was like coffee, ramen, sugar, and toilet paper.
But that was somebody's house, wasn't
it? I don't know where the store was located. This is true.
I have never.
So describe for us the village, the island, what you saw as far as like structures, or first of all, the structure of the place.
When we first got to the island, all I could see was the men's huts, the old,
like the ut.
The ut, the old houses that they used to have back then in their cultures. And that was surprising to me. I never thought I would actually see all these islands have men huts, huts, and then the lifestyle. There's no really running water or a water source. So there's the spring. Have you guys went in there?
No, I didn't see the spring. We collected rainwater mostly at the house I
Yeah,
stayed
mostly
at.
it was rainwater that's close by, but then they have a spring.
Uh-huh.
Me too. I never got to go in it. I was on the boat. You guys was there longer than us.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Because we had to dock outside Satawal.
Yeah.
So it wasn't too safe for a couple of days, so we had to move to other islands. But we was there for a day and a half or a day and a night.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to walk around with Captain Cecilio because that's his village. He's one of those chiefs out there in the families. So it was a blessing to be with him, to show us around all his family, all the houses, where he grew up, where old huts used to be. Now it's a change. He told us a lot of the backstory of that place, how it used to be, and then how it developed over time too. So it was different. We got to experience all the other islands as well. Mm-hmm. It's almost the same, just the amount of people is all different.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure maybe some of the boaters or fishermen might be interested in this. Can you describe to us, well, number one, describe to us the trip to and from. How was that for you?
It was fun. It was a rush. I just in my mind was like, oh yeah, we're gonna travel through the Marianas Trench. And all these islands, we're not gonna see islands for maybe 3 days.
How did that feel?
That was really exciting. At some points you will feel lost and whatnot, but after that it's really fun just to be out there, see what kind of fish is in the water.
Mm-hmm. What kind of marine life did you see? Because I know you guys saw some stuff like day one and I was seasick. I couldn't even, I was like trying to stand up to see it. I couldn't even stand up. So what kind of sea life did you see out there?
Yeah, we saw whales, turtles on the way out, birds, dolphins. We seen dolphins out there, mostly dolphins. Plenty big yellowfin, Moreland Avenue. Mostly that. The turtles was all big. The sea life is amazing out there. It's not like these islands. It's like you get mix. All the deep water is all closer to the islands. I liked it. I'm waiting for another trip to go back. The trip down, like I said, 3 days without seeing land.
Yeah.
And then the following morning we arrived to Satawal. That was amazing. I was having my coffee. I was getting ready.
Okay, speaking of coffee, how was the eating on the trip for you?
The eating.
How did we manage?
I don't know how we did it, but we managed to cook rice. We had eggs, spam, corned beef,
Fresh tuna.
fresh fish, tuna, wow,
Yeah.
marlin.
Yeah.
Most of the time we ate what we caught. We saved our canned food a lot. We came back with a lot of foods to eat. Soba, ramen. We had a lot to eat. That was fun. First time I got to cook on the boat, moving that far in the day, night, rough, windy, raining. but yet we still managed to eat. That was a great experience. How was your experience on that boat?
Man, it was like you said, it was fun. It was challenging, but at the same time it was fun. And I found it really beautiful, just like you. I mean, I think I was the only one that got seasick a few times the first day.
No, everybody got seasick.
Really? Well, you guys hit it really well, because I only saw myself barfing over the side.
I seen all Pohonu guys on the side, like, oh, these guys is probably feeling it. How was it when we stopped, when the boat stopped?
Okay, so you guys had warned me that when you get off a boat after a long voyage like that, you'll still feel like the next day, or Did you feel that? Like all of a sudden you're on land and then you feel like you're on the boat?
Yeah, you're still feeling like you're in the water. You feel every wave still. You feel every wave that was going through. It feels like it's still in your body.
I felt it a lot more when I got back. When I got back, I would wake up in the middle of the night and I would really feel like I was rolling on the ship.
Oh, that means you didn't hit the bar after you got back in.
I hit the snooze when I got back in. How did this voyage? Is this the longest ocean voyage you've ever taken?
Yes, it is. It's actually the furthest voyage I took besides up to the Northern Islands. And I went to all the Northern Islands and all the way down to Guam, but that was the farthest trip.
Yeah.
Like going three days, the next morning and then you arrive at land. That is long. Just to keep driving somewhere without land, that is different.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're just in the open ocean, nothing to do, just catch fish and wait till we get to the islands.
Now you got to visit some of the other islands more than we did, because we went to Satawal and then these guys went to the other islands to go fishing. Can you give for us a little bit of a description of the other islands that you went to?
Yeah. So from Satawal, we collected about 7 men from the island to collect the stuff for the pole for the ceremony.
The po is the ceremony to initiate the traditional navigators. That's the main reason we went. But yeah,
yes.
Okay.
So we went up to Gavaru, the island with the chief is the coconut crab. I freak out. So we dropped the guys there, but once we got there, we all gave offerings to bring back to the island for the chief over there. The coconut crab. I freaked out. I thought they was pulling my leg when they told me that, but it was the coconut crab. So they collect the stuff for the pole out there, and then we overnight one night. That island is probably like a little bit bigger than Managaha, but it's small. It's surrounded by a reef. And then, so the boys have to jump off the boat out in the deep. We anchored out outside the reef, and then they had to swim in and out.
Oh, they actually swam. You guys didn't use the little dinghy.
No, that was in Satawal. Remember, we left it.
Oh, you left the dinghy.
We left our dinghy in Satawal. But then, so the boys had to swim in and out. We gave our offerings, and then they said it was a good offering because at the end of the next day, we had enough of the supplies that they needed for the pole. Mm-hmm. The food, the materials from the island, mm-hmm. which was amazing. I never thought I would see. And then on the way back, whatever fish we caught, we hooked up 3 moorlins, 1 yellowfin on the way back. Whatever we had, we gave it and we donated to the pool while you guys was there. Mm-hmm. And then at the same time, that morning is when I got hooked. The first moorland.
Tell us that story.
So the next morning on the way from Gavaru back to Satawal, we just planned to fish. I let go lines. Everybody's new on the boat besides the captain and the 2 deckhands. And then we had the 7 guys from Satawal. Those guys never did see moorland in their life.
Really?
Never. When they fish down there, it's only small tuna, rainbow runner, smaller fish, I guess. And then, so we hooked up 3 moorlins. And then I found out from Cecilio saying that this is only made for like chiefs and high-ranking people to eat. Like in Hawaii, they say kapu, so they cannot, like certain people cannot have. And then that was a real experience to me because the other islands we caught moorland for, they couldn't have it. So we brought it all back to Satawal. So we brought back 4 moorlands to Satawal. And then the first moorland is when I got hooked. Everybody was new. I lined, I gaff, I fight the fish. Just as it came up on the boat, it gave a head shake. The trailer hook right into my leg. The other one's still in the moorland. Everybody froze. Only one guy told Captain Cecilio that I got hooked. Then my partner, Salik Jun, on the boat, he's the one that got up fast off his shift. He just finished driving. He was just ready to pass out, but once he heard it was me, he went and grabbed the pliers, and then I just cut all the lines, jumped on the table, took out the hook, looked for whatever medical supplies I had. I used what I had, and I prayed the next day I didn't wake up stiff and lockjaw.
Yeah, from tetanus yeah. So what happened after that?
After that was we continued fishing. That was the first morning. We picked up 3 more on the way to the island. And then we gave everything. We couldn't stay on Satawal. It was too rough. That's why I think you guys thought we left you guys.
Yeah, everyone was like, where's Cecilio? There's those guys. You guys missed Easter, right? You came in Easter night, I think?
Easter evening.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We was in Ilato. So we couldn't dock or we couldn't park outside, anchor outside Satawal. It was too rough. The winds. If our chains broke, I don't know how we're getting back to Saipan. So our safest option was go to Ilato. It's like this, the island, but then there's like a Managaha, but in a bigger cove. We breached right on.
Atoll, yeah.
Yes. So we breached right onto the island. That was amazing. Tie up to the 2 coconut trees, jump off. That was another great island. I got medical help from a family down there. They made like some natural herbs and medicine for the wound. So I think that's what helped a lot. I didn't feel no pain. There was like no bacteria. So I'm glad I met some families down there, and they still have natural medicines that will help with cuts and bruises, burns.
And then when we were leaving Satawal to come back, we overnighted in
Ilato.
Ilato again, and you saw that family again.
Yes. And then I had to say thank you before we left that morning. So I know they usually get supplies from Yap. So they'll take that ship that we got fuel from in Lamacher.
Yeah.
The same boat that they will catch to Yap. And so it's more like a cruise. Because they're going to stop through all the islands. So they'll do some shopping down there and then head back home to Ilato. So I gave them some cash I had. Like I said, I was going to have a store, so we had some cash. I gave them the cash I had. I seen even some of the little kids bamboo rod, line, and just dragging hooks with bait. I gave them whatever hooks I had in my box, all sizes from small fish to big. I gave it all. I gave them what I had, and then I hope to see them again for the next trip.
And it was funny, I remember you mentioned that, after you saw your family in Ilato, you were getting ready to jump in the water and swim back out to the boat, and they were like, no, don't get it wet.
Yeah. See, Tito, he's like, no, you wait for the boat. They're going to pick you up and then they're going to push you back to the boat.
Yeah.
I'm like, you sure?
So it's not to get the medicine wet. Yeah. So how are you doing now? How's the leg?
It's good. It's healing. So I've just been keeping it clean every day. Never go hospital yet. No need, I think.
What stands... I love it. I haven't been to the hospital yet. What stands out to you about the people that you met from the islands on this trip?
There's like no problems in the island. Everybody's friendly. The hospitality is nice. They want to give you everything they have to me. But then it's like at the same time, we don't need everything they have, but they want to give it. They make us the food before we go through the islands. Like when we was going back from Ilato to Satawal, they'll pack us. They'll weave baskets. They'll pack the taro and the chicken or what kind of meat ever, whatever they have, the fish, and then they'll give it to us. Then everything's like hot, so they just made it. It's for the voyage back, so it was nice. They're very, very kind people for all these islands that people don't have or haven't seen or can't imagine what it's like to have nothing. Like to have nothing. There's whatever you have on your back. I gave some of the boys down there. It was raining on the trip. I gave them some of my long sleeves I had. Whatever they had is what they had. Either it was a cut shirt, no shirt. So it was a life-changing experience to me to see people still kind at heart to help other people that they never met. First thing I got to Ilato, one guy, he came by me, he asked if I needed treatment for any local medicines for the wound when I got hooked. I told him no at first, but then he kept offering, and then I told him okay. So he brought me over to his house, and then him and the wife, they prepare all the medicines. That's what really got me. It was the families there is really amazing. If anybody would ever want to take a trip, that is like paradise. Hopefully there's a cruise boat that go down there.
What do you feel, or how do you think this trip has influenced you or changed you as a person, if at all?
It changed me in a way that, like, I just want to help out as much as I can, like for these islands mostly, like do what I can. I know I can't do everything, but at least donations, like I can bring down for them. I have a lot of like loose toys from my godson and whatnot. I seen all these kids all playing with one toy. I was like, oh, should have just brought down all my godson's toys and just throw it all down here for these kids. He's not gonna play with it too, like he's older. So it was different. I felt like there was more to do out here in this world. Everybody takes it for granted what we have and what people should be doing is different. These guys, they survive with what they have. There's no water. We drink coconuts every day down there. The food is limited. The supplies, even just clothing alone, you seen it. They all walked around with the same clothes mostly, and so it's what they have. So it brings me back, like, wow, that is just different to see you travel so far from a place where it has everything. You cannot just go over there and go like to a drive-through, or go somewhere fast to eat. There's no bars, there's no restaurants. It's just all natural. It was amazing. It was like untouched mostly. So that was like paradise, just to sit on the beach, watch the sunset. It was great. How was your experience through that?
I love it. You're like interviewing me now.
Yeah.
For me, it was really insightful. I, of course, learned a lot about the people and their way of life. In a way, because I grew up here in the 80s, and my family is Carolinian on my mom's side. It was almost like a flashback in some ways, like sleeping on the floor. I used to do that as a kid. The outdoor shower, the outhouse, like I'm familiar. So it's almost like I went back in time. And so it was new, but it was familiar. And then
to me, I have no blood in the lines down here. I'm Hawaiian Filipino. So it was a great experience to see the culture.
Yeah.
To me, the culture is what was really nice about it. How when we first arrived, you guys got to see the pole. I got to see Easter in Ilato.
Yeah.
How they divide food through the families.
Everybody gets a share.
Yeah,
right?
so everybody makes, like a family makes something, and then they all gonna bring it together, and they're gonna split for how much people in the family, right? So it was a great experience. I enjoyed it. I cannot wait for another trip to go back.
You heard him say it. Well, I personally want to thank you for helping to keep us safe on the trip in multiple ways. Whether it be with piloting or helping keep things in order and cooking, and most especially the chips when we really needed them. after you guys changed the belt in the diesel engine, you know, it's like time for chips. Whenever it's getting down, Kalama's laugh and the chips would bring everybody's spirits up. So
It was fun too. We got to swim in the Marianas Trench.
we did. And some of us got stung by jellyfish in the Marianas Trench.
And you're welcome.
Oh yeah, you're the one that put the
I'm doctor.
sanitizing wipes and
Alcohol
made the
wipes.
alcohol wipes and made the sting go away. That's a tip. That's a tip. What would you say is one thing you're taking from this trip maybe and adapting it into your life, either the way you think or the way you do things or the way you interact with people?
Actually, the way I do things is still old-fashioned. It's do what you're told. Grew up on your bases. I grew up on hunting and fishing. That's why I love the ocean. I filleted the morlin for you guys. So
I enjoyed watching you do that, by the way. I learned some stuff. Yeah.
So how to prepare fish and everything. So it was good fun. It was a great experience. That was like a mind-blowing experience. It was really fun, and I hope to do it again.
All right. I heard you say that. We'll see if you get to make it again. That'd be great.
We're planning another one.
I know, right?
Yes.
Don't get excited. Stand by for part 2 of this interview. Kalama, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thanks for sharing, and wish you the best, bro.
Thank you. My fellow pirate.
Pirates of the Carolinians here, we and our crew and our captain. This has been Marianas Stories, and our guest today has been Kalama Fernandez. He was one of 10 that took the 1,000-mile plus round trip voyage, open ocean voyage to the Caroline Island of Satawal, sharing his story today. Thanks, Kalama.
Thank you, guys.
Be safe, and we'll see you again next month on Marianas Stories.
All right.